Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the car boot crafter, and look what I found. It's a very sorry looking template for a Christmas cracker. It was something I used to do a long time ago, was to make these simple Christmas cracker boxes, and even down to putting the double-sided tape on, which is still on there. And then I used to just pop them to one side, and whenever I needed them for Christmas presents, or little sweet boxes as well, then they were already done and I didn't have to worry too much. Great for last minute present wrapping as well. So I thought this year I'm going to do the same again, because it's also a great way to bust some of your 12 by 12 papers. So I'm going to do it as a craft along with me. So let's move that out of the way and bring in the craft pack I want to bust. So I think I haven't got the wrapping anymore, but I think this is a Do Craft papers. So I'm going to use this one to start off with, but I'll probably do most of this this 12 by 12 pack, so that over Christmas I've got loads, and I'm probably going to do little sweetie boxes with them. So I've got one there. So we don't need a full 12 by 12, so I'm going to cut it down ever so slightly. So and think about your pattern as well. So if you've got a directional pattern, then you're going to cut the short side on the pattern so that your pattern rolls around the box, the cracker box. You're going to cut the short side on the side of the pattern. So the first thing you're going to do is cut that at 9 3/4. So we're only taking a little bit, 2 1/4 inch off those 12 by 12 papers. And what I've done with some of the stripy ones is I've already chopped them down, because I might use these to decorate the boxes. I'm going to make this one up properly, so it's fully made up, so you can see how it turns out, but the rest of them I'm going to leave flat. So grab your scoreboard, and I'm using my Hoogie board, and I can't find my Hoogie score tool, so I'm going to use this one. So pop the short side in, and you're going to score at 3, and this is so simple, 3, 6 and 9. Okay, so 3, 6 and 9 on the short side. Then turn it and score at 1, 2 and 3. So simple. 1, 2 and 3. And then you can go up the other end and score at 9, 10 and 11 if you want to. I just prefer to turn it round and do it this way. So 1, 2 and 3, like that. And then you can pop your scoreboard away. So you've now got 3, 6, 9, so you've got a thin little piece here, and then you've got 1, 2 and 3, and this is going to be the handle end of your cracker. So just score and burnish as you would with any other project. So, and with these long ones, you're scoring in like that, including that little bit there. Score it in. With these ones, so this is the 1, 2 and 3, you're going to fold up with the first one, fold back with the second one, so the second one goes back like that, and fold, and then back over again. So you're concertina folding it like that. So you've got a mountain, no, you've got a valley, a mountain and a valley, and then coming back up to one side of the mountain. Or the way I prefer to do it is I go straight to the far one. So this is my 3 inch one, fold it like that, fold it back and fold it up again. So whichever method works for you, you end up with exactly the same results like that. Okay, now I'm going to cut it. Normally I would do this cutting, so a little bit of cutting, and I'd normally do it on the pattern side, but I'm going to do it on the inside so that I can mark some oh, I've got a pencil there. I can mark some things for you so you can see. So let me move that into the middle again. So this is the end where you've got your, this was your 9, so you've 3, 6 and 9. That gives you 3/4 of an inch here that goes all the way across like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to come to the 1 inch, miss the 2 inch, and then go to the 3 inch and do the same on this one. So not the mounting one, and you're going to cut up on those lines there. So turn it this way and I'm going to cut up. So just simple cut up till that first score mark there. All you're going to do. Nice and simple. Okay, got to there. And cut that away. Just along that score line. Like that. And the same at this end. Just cut along the score line. And then we've got a little tag at that end, and this is going to be our gluing tag to make our box. Do the same at the other end. I'm not going to mark, no I'm not, don't need to do the other end, do I? Nearly did. Right, once you've got to that stage, you can do this freehand or you can do the ruler method. So this mounting fold here, so the one in the middle between those two cuts, you're going to measure 1 1/4 inches from that end up. So 1 1/4 inches, and then from this end 1 1/4 inches, like that. So that was 1 1/4 inches, and then I went from the 3 down to the 1 3/4 inches mark. And you're going to do that all the way along. So go to your next, so this is my next score lines, and I'm going to measure from there. So 1 1/4, little mark there. I should bring it down and do another 1 1/4 here, and then at this end do 1 1/4, and then I'm going to come over this side and do exactly the same. So 1 1/4, and then from here I'm measuring up 1 1/4. Then from that line I'm going to measure down 1 1/4, and then from this score line I'm going to measure up 1 1/4. I'm just putting those little dots there as a reference, and the last one, there we go. Okay, now that just gives me some visual references, although if you are good at measuring or doing by eye, go ahead and do it by eye. Next thing you're going to do is, and I always start this end, but it doesn't matter which end you start, I'm going to come from here and go to that dot, that very first dot. So I've got a dot there and a dot there. Hopefully you can see it if I mark that a bit more like that. So you can see those two marks there, and I'm just cutting from that corner up to that mark like that and taking that triangle bit out. I'm going to come across this side like that, and I'm going to do exactly the same, coming across to there like that, and the same this side. So I've cut that triangle out there. Okay, now what I'm going to do to do the next one, because it's a bit more difficult now, is I'm going to fold it on that score line like that. And again, I've got 2 marks on there, and this time I'm going to, so this is my folded line, and I'm going to cut from, let me bring my pencil in again. So here are my crease marks. So that's my 1 inch, this is my 2 inch, this is my 3 inch score that I did earlier. So I'll fold it over, and I'm going to go from that score. So there's the score mark, there's my crease line, and I'm going to go from that corner to that mark there. And normally it would be very small little marks, you could hardly see them, but I've made them obviously bigger for the camera. And then again this side, so this is my 3 inch score mark, so 1 2 3 from this crease here, from that corner up to that score mark, that pencil mark there, and I cut out, only this time it's a diamond shape because I've gone through both sides, so I get that, so I end up with that cut there. And then I'm going to come across this side, and again there's my 1 inch, my 2 inch and my 3 inch score marks, and again I'm going to, on the crease line there where that corner is, where those meet, come across to that dot, this side across to that dot, and again I've got that diamond shape cut out both sides, and this is what is going to form our handle for our crackers. And then I'm going to do exactly the same again. So I've got that other crease mark there, I'm folding it back on itself like that, and I'm going to do exactly the same. So there's my crease marks, I'll turn it round so I can come at it from this side. There's my 1 inch, my 2 inch, my 3 inch, there's my other dot. So scissors in, bring it up, come across this side and bring it up, and that then cuts us another diamond. And I'll do the same this side. There's my crease mark, bring that in, same on here, bring that in. I have another diamond shape that I've cut out, so I've got that. So when you get to that, you now haven't got any, you're right at the bottom. So these are the other dots, the leftover dots. So all I have to do now is, there's my 1, 2 and 3 inch score line. So all I have to do now is come from the edge of my paper up to that dot, the edge of this paper, and there you go. That's cut a triangle out, and the same this side, cut it there and there. So that is our template. And what you can do, if you don't want to keep marking all these 1 1/4 inches on them, you can actually make yourself a template from a piece of it, and then all you need to do is cut your next piece down and then just draw within that template where you need to cut. Always do it on the inside though, because if you do it on the outside you might not, if your cuts aren't that accurate. Then, oh, I don't need the button. Then get yourself some double-sided tape, and this is a bit narrow. I would prefer something that's about 1 inch, half an inch wide, but unfortunately I can't find it. That's why I'm having a clear out in my craft room, because I can't find anything. And what you're going to do is put your tape on this 3/4 inch bit here. I'm going to put 2 lots of this tape on, I think, just because otherwise it's not going to catch very well. but I will, and this is really old double-sided tape, so if I use this for all my crackers, I'll be stash busting my double-sided tape as well. I have some more of it. I have some red liner tape, which is this wide, or should I say this narrow, and it's a much better tape than this one is. So what I might do is, depending on when I make them up, I might put a little bit of glue just to hold them for a little bit longer. Thing with these is I always do tend to use my papers that I've kind of, you know, were really cheap, or I wasn't you know, especially fond of, or even, you know, like I'm doing with this one, that it's a busting a stash busting project. So yeah, so that's what I'm using these for, because these are one and done. You know, once you gift people these, they probably won't keep them. So yeah, so, and that's what I shall do, is I should just make up a load like this, probably fold them over to take up a little bit more room, and then pop them on a shelf somewhere, and then when it comes to making up my sweetie boxes, that's what I'll do. So, but to show you how you can use them and what they look like when they're fully made up. So this one's got all the pencil marks, luckily, on the inside, so they probably won't be seen, hopefully. So I'm just going to take the tape off this middle bit, and then sort of fold it round like that. And oh, actually, I'll put it on the inside. I should put it on the outside, shouldn't I? That was a rookie mistake. So I'll carry on and I'll put it on the outside, but normally, obviously, I should put them so it goes that way, but I will hook it over, because with this paper it's not going to make an awful lot of difference. So let's just line that up. It's a three-sided box, so it's unlike a square box. You can't fold it flat. Normally you'd fold it flat and just bring that side over, but you can't with this one, unfortunately. So it's a little bit more fiddling. So but once you've got everything lined up, just pinch that, and that's the body of your cracker. So you can see it's quite a nice big size as well, for your sweetie boxes or whatever you're going to use it for. Great for little presents. I've put jewellery and watches and things like that in these before now, so, and that's worked very well. If I am going to do it as a particular, you know, present, if it's a main present, then I will use some really nice papers and spend a lot of time decorating these up. So fold that over as well. So I would prefer that to go inside like that, but I'll put my tape on the wrong side, but so never mind. But you can't really tell with this paper, which is a great bonus if you do make that mistake, because I've done it, always do it I always do it the pattern side round, but so I could show you with the pencil, I've done it on the inside, which I guess has thrown me out a little bit. So there we go. Luckily enough, it's this beautiful blue paper. So, and then hook that over like that. Line everything up, and you have your, let me turn it that way around so you can say you have your cracker. So I've got all these strips, so I'm thinking of using them on the box, on the cracker, to wrap it round like that. Let's put a bit of double-sided tape on it. go all the way around to hold it. I'm only going to put a piece down the middle on this, I think, because I want to have a little bit of movement with it. And I've gone a bit wobbly on that, but hey ho, never mind. Let's move that off. See if I can take this off in one go. This, yeah, this tape is, you know, sometimes when they get a little bit old, they get a little bit more stubborn, shall we say. So is that going to come? That's not going to come up. 1 second. There we go. Got it. Right, so let's move that piece out the way. There's my join at the back. So I'm going to start on my join. I'm going to bi-eye it. So there's my join. Is that the middle? It's about the middle. So, and I'm just going to roll it round and fold it onto the paper like that. And then I'll cut that off. Join that at the back. Let's turn him that way around so you can see those. And I've also, so one of the papers has got all of these little squares on it. So I've spent some time and cut some of them out, and I'm just going to pop that on there on some foam mats like that. And then I might even do a little gift tag with one of the papers so that I can tie up those ends with some ribbon, which I haven't got any ribbon to hand. That was the one thing I forgot to grab before I sat down to do this. I think mainly because I wasn't thinking about doing a video until I sat down. I was just thinking I will get, because it's that month where we're thinking about, or starting to think about, Christmas. I thought I'll just do the template. So there you go. And if you want, you can use your punches and decorate these ends. You've got 1 inch either side, so you've got plenty of room there to play with, to decorate or wrap round. You know, if you've got some more fancy papers, you could wrap some more fancy papers round like that. Really decorate it up in a nice big bow on either end of your cracker there. Or if you prefer, you can just use a little thin, got a little piece of ribbon sitting there. Let's just see how we go. A little thin one even, like that. Nice bow on there, and then maybe some papers wrapped round to give that end a bit more of detail. Yeah, so plenty you can do with it, but like I said, I make the templates, just do the cracker shapes. Usually I do it September, October, if I'm to be honest with you, but I sat down to do it this month because, well, we're crafting in July, so I thought my mind just turned to it after I found that template. That's what you get for sorting out your craft room. Anyway, I'm going to carry on, and I'm going to bust a load more of these papers, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye for now.